Hi, everybody. Darren here. So, it took me so long to do my last earnings report, I figured I'd do you a little bonus content and show you some of the traffic sources for the Odyssey Camper blog. So, since this is really about earnings and revenue and things like that, most of the income is coming in either through YouTube or through Amazon links on the website. So, I thought you might find it interesting to see where those people are coming from onto the website. And so, if you didn't know, if you just follow me on YouTube, I do have a blog called odysseycamper.com. And looking at the back side of that on the dashboard, it's a WordPress site. And I'll briefly look at my Google Analytics dashboard to see where my traffic's coming from. So, if I look in here at different traffic mediums, I have referrals, I have direct in, and then organic finds. But what's more interesting to this discussion is social networks. So YouTube is considered a social network, and over the last year, this is 1 year of traffic, 11.4% of people have come from YouTube, and that's really why I started YouTube to begin with, was to get a little bit of a boost SEO-wise from the description of the video, linking to the web page that the video was on, but also to bring people into the blog. And so I really started the YouTube channel to generate traffic for the blog, not the other way around. But they both started around the same time, and it took about a year for YouTube to be monetized. So that's one source. And the next one is Facebook. That's not surprising. I have a Facebook page. Facebook does a lot of things I don't like, both privacy-wise, but also just business-wise. For example, if you have a page and people like that page, you would think that they would see all your posts, but they don't. If you like a Facebook page, Facebook decides what you'll see and what you won't. Which is really frustrating to the people that have the pages. It's frustrating to me when I post something and 80% of my readers don't see it unless I pay Facebook to show it to them. So anyway, enough about that, but 41% people come from Facebook. Not surprising. What is surprising is where these people came from. Pinterest. 46.5% of the people reaching me through social networks, so not through a Google search or some other means, are doing it through Pinterest. I find this very surprising. I started a Pinterest page just out of curiosity to see what it would do, and it's been amazing for bringing people to the website. And I don't even know what I'm doing on Pinterest, honestly. But so let me go to my Pinterest page. So there's an Odyssey Camper Pinterest page, and every time I make a blog post, I put a pin-type picture at the end of it. So how to make bread in your van or RV while you drive. I stick these down at the end of the article so they don't get in the way, but if someone reaches me and they want to pin that page, the pictures that come up, one of them is tailored to Pinterest. So that helps them, helps make it easier for them to make a pin and back to the website. But also I share the pins, and so people find it that way. It says here I have 21,000 monthly viewers. At one time, for about 3 months, I was up to about 150,000, and that was because of one article I posted, which was how to shower at a truck stop. And I made a pin for it, and that thing went, I don't know, as viral as you do in this small niche space of minivan camping. So it was up there for quite a while, but now it's stabilized between 21 and 23,000 monthly viewers. This number is, I think, a little deceptive because it doesn't really show you if people are fully engaging with your pins. So let me go up to my analytics, and if you have a Pinterest page and you call it a business, you'll have this analytics button over here. Just look at an overview. And right now it just says date range, last 30 days. Okay, can I do, well, let's do 90. It's probably more representative. All right. So 90, 130,000 impressions. Wow, what does that mean? Well, it basically means that my pins popped up in people's searches, or, while they were scrolling by, the pin was on the page. It doesn't mean anything in my opinion. And all these numbers are down. The reason they're all down is because I had that 1 month or 3 months where I was at 150,000. I'll switch that and you'll see that they're actually getting better. But total audience, okay, engagements. This is the one I'm interested in. So did people actually pin that? Did they click on it? Did they go through and do something with it? And that's kind of the number I look at. But 7,000, that's not bad for the last 90 days. If I change that to the last 30 days, okay, so now you can see engagements are actually going up slightly. So it's not all doom and gloom like it looked like in the last one. So compared to the previous 29 days, Engagements were up 1%. Okay, they're not going down. That's good. But that's all resulting in traffic going back to the website because people are seeing it, they're clicking on it, and then in some cases following the link, which is showing up back here. And so if I look at the last 30 days, let's reduce that number. So 341 people clicked all the way through to the, that's Facebook. Okay, 265 people clicked all the way through from Pinterest. And ratio-wise, these change from month to month. So overall, Pinterest is bringing in more people, but in the last month, Facebook, probably because I made some Facebook page posts, was a little bit higher. But people are finding the website, and I'm really surprised that Pinterest had such an effect. So I just figured I'd pass that along to everybody. I'll show you one other thing, which is pages. As you like to think that when you write about something, people that are interested in that will find your page. But let me show you what my most popular page is. So in the last 30 days, the most popular post is Honda Odyssey interior measurements. This wasn't by design, but I think I hit a long tail search term here. So 920 of my sessions were for that. That's by far the largest engagement. And all it is me crawling around the floor with a measuring tape showing the distances on the floor of the minivan. Now, when you go to find that information elsewhere, it's actually, it can be hard to find because Google will give you results for the manufacturer and whatnot, and they'll be like the weight of the vehicle and the cubic volume. But what people really want to know is how big of a whatever can I fit in that van. And so I think that's why they find that. So really, it behooves me to go back and maybe write a second one or increase the information in that. Maybe put some Amazon links in that post. So maybe for a measuring tape, so people can make their own measurements or whatnot. But and I'll probably do. In fact, I will do a video for the NV200. I haven't decided video or post, but I will show interior measurements because I know this is something when people are planning their projects that they're interested in. But it's a little discouraging if you're writing about travel in a minivan and your number one post is about measuring the interior of a minivan, because the vast majority of people probably aren't into minivan camping. They just happen to find it. And if I go back to the last year, okay, so 1 year, it's still the most popular, 7,500 sessions on that page. And luckily, travel in a minivan RV is number 2, and Rubber Tramp Rendezvous up there, which is a little surprising. And then how to truck stop shower like a man or a woman. And that was the Pinterest post that went viral. So that's also a popular one here. And that going kind of semi-viral or small-scale viral, I'll call it, is probably why over the last year there were so many people that read that clicked through on that. They probably came directly from Pinterest, I'm guessing. So, yeah, so that's interesting. And then it also shows my email campaigns. I have a newsletter that I send out irregularly, but when I make a new post, so on average every 2 months, with just what's going on the blog so people can come read it or not read it. And I think I have 400 something people on the mailing list, and I'm getting, I don't know, direct to page 39. I'm not sure if that number is accurate or not, because when I look at it on the other end, on the MailChimp end, it looks like a lot more people are clicking through than that. So I don't know. Maybe I don't understand that number. And then what you keep seeing popping up whenever I change this, you'll see activity popping up. And what that is whenever I have an idea for an article, I write a post or beginning of a post, and I stick it on a published date a year away or 2 years away. And then I remember later on if I'm looking for something to write about, I was going to write about solar generators and their specifications, like what is watt hours versus amp hours. There's a lot of, I would say deception, but there's a lot of marketing going on solar generator specifications. And when you break it down and compare apples to apples, you can get a better idea of whether or not it's worth purchasing that solar generator or whether it's all marketing hype. So that's what I've been working on for a while. Van camping challenges that are not. That's another idea. Like, you get a lot of questions. People are like, well, where? I want to go camping, but I'm going to be sticking to campgrounds, but where do you go to the bathroom? And I'm like, well, most campgrounds have some type of toilet there. If you're paying, you're paying for something, so things that people worry about that aren't worth worrying about. Roadside assistance programs. I want to do that one because I think you should definitely have either through your insurance company or AAA, something like that when you set out on this. cooking on an ember-lit stove, yada. And then my most recent posts. So that's what's going on in the background in Google Analytics, and I just wanted to share with you that Pinterest is becoming valuable. There's one more thing I want to show you. So I always thought of Pinterest as a platform that women used primarily, but men are actually the fastest gender group growing on there. So let's see. Let me go to Audience Insights. Total audience, last 30 days. Okay. So down here, it's not surprising that women on Pinterest are more likely to post my stuff or anyone's stuff because there are more women on Pinterest. But what really kind of surprised me is the engagement. 33% of my audience is male. So there's a lot of guys on Facebook, on Pinterest. And, I went and looked at some of the people that have pinned my things to see what they're interested in. And they'll have boards on RVs. And the funny thing is like half the guys have boards of women of some kind or another. There'd be a board on redheads or on actresses or something, something like that. Guys are guys. But yeah, they are engaging in other subject matter. So when you look at their interests, they're interested in vehicles or they're interested in sports, and then you can break that down further. So of those that are interested in vehicles, campers and RVs would be at the top, and that makes sense. But then they also have other interests, and that's worth knowing when you're writing for your audience. If you get into sports, outdoor sports, camping and hiking, there you go. And then breakdown of camping, hiking separately, camping equipment. So certainly some of the stuff I'm writing about, those people are interested in camping equipment and probably posting it, or pinning it rather, on their Pinterest boards. So I thought that was kind of interesting. And then when we go into top countries, so U.S., Canada, that's not surprising. I'm surprised I rarely have anyone from the U.K. or Australia. I don't think they get the Odyssey, at least not the same type that we have in the U.K. Could be wrong about that. Germany, that's interesting. But these are really your largest English-speaking, in many ways, people that would have an Odyssey in their country. And then when you scroll down, South Africa, that's interesting. I don't think they have the Odyssey there. France. So I've started to do some of my videos with multiple closed caption tracks. And I've actually gotten feedback from people in Mexico saying, thanks for putting that in with English subtitles. It's a lot easier to follow. So even though people may speak multiple languages, it's always nice to do it in your own language. So it's just something I kind of stumbled across on the way. But that's Pinterest, and like I said, I'm not an expert in Pinterest or even using it to get my point across and bring people to the website, but it has proven to be a pretty good funnel. So I just follow some basic things, basic strategies, which I put a photo on my page that's Pinterest friendly, and I create a pin that leads back to that, so someone can, if they go to Odyssey Camper or they find that pin, it has a description and a link back, and that it's kind of a funnel to bring people back to the website. That's the goal. I don't really do much with Pinterest on the user side as far as actually recipes are the one thing I do pin, but I don't really. I have a couple private boards with recipes and locations where I want to go and stuff, but I'm not really a big Pinterest user. I probably should be a bigger Pinterest user given how much traffic is coming from it. But that's all for the bonus material. I just thought you might find that interesting. If you're not on Pinterest, if you haven't considered using that in your strategy, you probably should. There's definitely some value there for the type of thing that I'm doing and probably the type of thing that you want to do. All right, talk to you soon.